Hey everybody, it is a little after noon on Tuesday, May the 21st, 2024. Delmer, Sir Charles, and me are in the Bear Tree Recreation Area, which is part of the greater Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. We're between Damascus and Conner Rock, Virginia. We're out to do an overnighter on the Feather Camp Trail, which is about 6 miles from where we're parked. So how about y'all come along with us and let's get going. Big old hemlock over the trail. We're on the Bear Tree Gap Trail. We'll take it up almost 3 miles to what's known as Shaw Gap, where there's a junction of 4 different trails. We'll then get on the Iron Mountain Trail and head west a couple of miles, junction off of it onto the Feather Camp Trail, take it down about another mile to our campsite. Okay, we're up at the pond that's up the side of Gross's Mountain, and I know I've told the story several times, but I think I do have a couple of new viewers since last we came through. We're on the Bear Tree Gap Trail. As far as I know, this pond doesn't have a name. Like I say, it's up the side of Gross's Mountain, right along the trail over here. But back when I was a youngster, I didn't know anything about official trails because all I knew was bushwhacking. Anyway, I was 14 years old and I came through. I was on my way to the Feather Camp Lookout Tower because I'd been to it a lot, you know, with my family in the car, but I wanted to hike to it. So this was the first big adventure of my hiking career. Where I'm pointing through there, I came off that ridge through all those laurels and came out on this. But then I thought it was a lake. To me, you know, like I said, I was a kid, young teenager. I thought it was a lake because I remember going back and telling my mom, I said, I come across a lake up in the mountains. Anyway, if you go straight, there's a ridge right there. You go up that, and about 3-4 miles at the most is where I grew up. And on that day when I came over here was the first time I learned about official trails, and it blew my mind. I didn't know there was. I was like a kid in a candy store. Anyway, that's my silly, boring story, but with all that rain and all, it's up pretty good. Level's up pretty good. Okay, that's enough of that. We've just came down off a pretty hard, well, be a hard climb tomorrow. Today it was downhill. Where the Iron Mountain Trail crosses over Forestry Road number 90. Actually, at this spot right here, it's where my wife and I had our honeymoon. Right here where I'm standing. Next day I had to be up and be at work, so that's February 14th, 1982. Now, Forestry Road 90, that weighs about 2.5 miles down to Route 58, which is between Damascus and Conner Rock. Go about another mile that way, it dead ends, but picks up Forestry Road 615, which goes pretty good ways out through there. This will bring us out to where the old Appalachian Trail shelter, Sandy Flats shelter used to sit. It's about 5, maybe 6 years ago. 2 big old oak trees came down on it and smashed it to smithereens. There's still a spring there though, so that's where I'm gonna get some more H2O. Well, we had a change of plans. Instead of going down on the Feather Camp Trail, we came out to Sandy Flats where the old shelter used to stand, and got a good flowing spring right here. Keep those Coke Zeros extra special cold. Across a little footbridge and over to the left on the other side of the creek is a privy. Someone cut up all these stumps, so we got plenty of tabletop material. Somebody's already processed some wood, so yeah, well, right here's the place for us. Now,
they had the fire built for us.
yeah, if they just had the fire built for us. Now, to the other side of Delmer's tent and up through there's the Bushwhacker Trail. This right here is the Iron Mountain Trail. We were going to go, the plan was, so that's faded now, but it says Damascus 7. That's fairly accurate. A lot of these signs can be way off. Anyway, we got to this point and I thought, well, we'll save Feather Camp for another time. Now, I have camped in this spot countless times, but never in a tent. It was always in the shelter. It's a little murky, but like I say, we got a good spring over there. And privy right up there. That was actually a Boy Scout project up there. The scout that built it, that's how he earned his Eagle badge. So right here's home for tonight. Instead of overnight on the Feather Camp, it'd be overnight at Sandy Flats. Plus we got some open to get a little bit of starlight or moonlight tonight. Bushwhacker Trail goes about a half a mile down through there, comes out on Forestry Road number 90, and also where 615 picks up. So yeah, I think right here will do. Well, it's morning of day 2. We're probably a mile away from camp. Glad we stopped when we did. I mean, the feather campsite would have been great too, but we already hiked in about 5 miles, and that's about my limit for a day anymore. But we had the spring and had a privy and processed wood already there, so it don't get no better than that. And all these mayapple. Like I said, that was I camped there many times. Used to sleep in the shelter, and that's the only trail shelter I ever slept in to where I wasn't molested by mice. Don't know why, but every other one I've ever been in, just, you know, mice infested. But that one never, I don't know the reasoning, but never was bothered by any critters in that one. It's already getting warm. It's supposed to be up in, I think, the mid 80s today. A little cooler up here on the ridge top. I've always said, if you want to get the great views, you have to go up like White Top or the Grayson Highlands section of the Mount Rogers NRA. But if you want peace and solitude, you got to come to the western section, like where we are now. We haven't seen another soul. Well, we hadn't intended to, but at the last minute, took Delmer down one of the trails he'd never been down, so it comes out over here near the Bear Tree Lake. There's a guy getting ready to put in a kayak over here in a minute. He was dragging it across the parking lot there a few minutes ago. Other than him, and I don't count that since we're almost back to the car, we haven't seen anybody else. I did say Bear Tree Lake, I think. This is Bear Tree Campground. Down there's the dam, and just out from it about a quarter of a mile is the parking lot where we're parked. So, since I'm so close, I'll say goodbye now. As always, thanks for coming along with us. There's another one in the books, and until next time.